Aloha everyone, David Tatera here again with CryptoTutorials.org. Today I am going to show you exactly how and exactly why you should be switching all of your crypto over to KuCoin. Yeah, it's true. Today right now it's the 29th, Saturday, May 29th. So we've had some pretty wild, wild month, and it's been a wild even the last 24 hours in particular. As I look over here, Bitcoin is at 33,800, $33,800. That's where Bitcoin is right now. So we're right in the middle of all this chaos, and it's even shown me more why it sped up my switching to KuCoin. It sped up my business partner Jason, who you're going to start seeing more and more on this channel, his switching over to KuCoin. And I think it makes sense for most of us for a couple different reasons. So anyway, hit that little like button. Let Google know that you think this video should get shown to more people. It helps me out. It helps the whole channel out. Give that subscribe button a nice little rub for good luck. I know a lot of us feel like we could probably use it right now. And let's get this video started.
Warning, I am not a financial advisor and this is not investment advice. Seek a professional.
All right, so let's talk about KuCoin. Few things that I really love about KuCoin. Number one, biggest one for me, no KYC. If you don't know it, if you're new to the crypto industry, KYC stands for Know Your Customer. So when you fill out that Gemini form or that Coinbase form and you have to show them your ID and your passport and your social security number and 12 different documents to prove who you are, that's called KYC. That's the Know Your Customer. They need that information. KuCoin does not require any of this. All you need for KuCoin is a mobile phone number, an email address, and you're in. That's it. You make up a password and you're in. They don't even ask your name. They don't ask your name. They don't ask where you live. They don't ask what you do for a living. They don't want to see any of your documents. None of it. You can get a KuCoin account set up with literally just your password and your phone number and an email address. Absolutely wonderful, especially for someone like me. I happen to live in Hawaii. If you live in New York, you know what this is like. Some of us just have been put in places where crypto is very demonized and it's sort of, they've limited what we can do, our access. So I can use a handful of different exchanges. That's it. I can use Kraken, I can use Gemini, a few of them. But there's a lot of exchanges that I can't access. I can't access Coinbase. I can't access Binance US, any of these. So KuCoin has been absolutely wonderful for me because it allows me access to all the different crypto that I want, to do exchanges the way that I want to do them, and it doesn't require me to prove who I am. Now, as a quick caveat, I think that technically this is not how it's supposed to be. U.S. exchanges are supposed to have KYC, so there's a chance someday in the future that they may require you to prove who you are or where you live. Now, in the past, when this has happened with exchanges, they've always let people get their money out. They may say, until you prove who you are, you can't do any more trading in here, or you can't add any more money into here. But at no exchange has ever said you can't get your money out. So I don't expect this to be any different. Obviously, I'm putting my money in there, so I trust it pretty well. But I just want you to know that. I don't want there to be a surprise if 6 months from now the federal government changes a rule and suddenly you find out that you can only withdraw your money from KuCoin. You can't exchange it there anymore. It's entirely possible. But on top of the KYC, the second huge bonus for me with KuCoin has been low fees. I'm talking way low fees. KuCoin, if you keep some of the native KuCoin tokens, you're going to pay 0.8%, 0.8%. Let me just give you this into perspective. This is what brought Jason and all of his assets completely over to KuCoin with me. He was, during this last month, there was a point at which he decided he wanted to buy in some Cardano. He was going to buy in a couple $1,000s worth of Cardano, I think. And it was $70 for the fees. He calculated, that he had to pay when he purchased that Cardano. Which isn't terrible, pretty normal for most crypto things. But he asked me, he said, hey, what if I'd have done that on KuCoin? What would the fee have been? And I looked it up and it was $4. I mean, you're paying $4 instead of $70. That's he's paying almost 20 times the fees. 0.8% is so ridiculously cheap. It means that if I see a bad moment in the market and I want to pull my Ethereum and stick it into Tether and buy in again later, no big deal. I can totally do that. I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to pay some giant gas fee. I'm not going to get screwed around with a bunch of 7% fees like some of these other ones do. Now, when you do eventually remove this crypto from their account, there are going to be some fees there, but actually those come from the cryptos themselves. That's not even from KuCoin. So you'd have to pay that whether you're at Binance or Coinbase or any of these places are going to charge you it. But lowest fees that I've found anywhere, and that is huge for me because I like to be able to move my money around where I like it. So before I dive in any deeper on this review, I want to pause for one quick second and let you know that we still have the Crypto Airdrop Masterclass available. If you're not familiar with this is what one of the things that we offer here at cryptotutorials.org, and it's a in-depth class. It's going to explain to you everything you need to know to successfully get airdrops and bounties and all the different ways that you can get free crypto without getting scammed, without having some of these shady people trying to take your money. So anyway, just a quick example myself. I did a recent video call on Blockto. You may have seen it on the channel, but the reason that I did that video, a big part of it, was because I like that project and they had a bounty. For doing that particular video on Blockto, I was able to get almost $200 in Blockto tokens. Blockto's not available yet. It's going to probably be 2 or 3 more months, maybe even a little bit longer. They haven't officially announced their ICO date before they have their coin offering. But when that coin offering hits, I'm already ahead and I have $200 in it for having done that video. I can show you how to do this, how to get yourself ahead with this crypto, because it's very possible that this can 2x, 3x, 10x. That could be a $2,000 video that I made very soon. So anyway, go to getmyfreecrypto.com. That's the website. You want to punch that website in. It's going to take you over there and just sign up and tell us where you want us to send the course links, and we will let you in on the Crypto Airdrop Masterclass. Normally $97. We're letting everybody in for free right now. So get yourself a chance to get some free crypto this way. You won't regret it. Next up for KuCoin, I want to talk about the cryptos. Always an important thing. What coins are available? What can I get there on there? Well, I'm going to do a really quick demonstration that'll let you know how you can check any coin you may be interested in buying, find out exactly where to get it, and is it available on KuCoin. But I'll tell you, KuCoin has a great selection of coins, whether it's Polygon, Matic, Cardano, all the big ones, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, all the main ones, but other ones like Maker and Tezos, and you can do staking on there. It's a great platform. It's a very diverse platform that carries a lot. So let's do a really quick look over to see if there's a particular crypto you're interested to make sure that it's available for you on KuCoin. And then I'll come right back and I'll finish talking about all the great things that I like about this exchange.
So you've probably been to this site before, but hop on over, coingecko.com. It is going to list most tokens. There's some obscure ones if you're trying to buy, Dragon Inu or some, obscure altcoin. They may not show up in here, but for almost all of the major cryptos, they're going to show up on here. And those little ones aren't going to be carried on any real major exchanges. They're only on the DeFi exchanges like PancakeSwap and Uniswap anyways. So, you go down here, you're looking, you're finding, is Dogecoin on KuCoin? Well, hop over here to Dogecoin, and you're going to see there's a little tab called Markets when you scroll down here. Once you go to the Markets tab, it is going to pull up this giant list of exchanges and markets it's available on. So obviously Binance, Kraken, and we're going to scroll down here. We're going to look for our friend KuCoin. Let's see. Oh, there it is. KuCoin, it's on here. And you can see that, obviously not as much liquidity. It's got, the volume on KuCoin, about $1 million in the last 24 hours versus, some of these 600 million on Binance. So obviously Binance is handling a lot more volume. 20% of the volume of Doge is going through Binance. But it's on there, and it's, the price isn't that different. The price on Binance is 0.295, and what did we see for KuCoin down here? 0.29533. So, we're talking in the last decimals where it's changed. All right. But anyway, you can do that for any coin that you like. If if you find something that's more obscure that you really want to know about, like you can scroll down here. It's got hundreds and hundreds of pages of tokens, but is Fusion on KuCoin? I have no idea. I know nothing about Fusion, but I can pull it up here in the market list, and I can see it's on Wobi, it's on Bitbox. It looks like it's on Binance. Does not look to be. So that would be one I cannot buy there. But anyway, that's how you look it up. That's how you figure out if it's there and if it's available for you on KuCoin.
Another great thing about KuCoin is that it has a full-featured app and website. That's right. You can trade on the app. You can keep track of all your crypto on the app. You can do it on the website if you prefer doing it on your desktop or your laptop. You have a lot of options when it comes to trading, but these aren't like skimpy, basic, the app isn't some stripped down version. The app is wonderful. And so I love it because I do most of my trading from my desktop. I prefer to do it there, but it's really nice that if I want to take a peek at something, if I happen to be out at the park and I look at it and I go, whoa, that thing shot up and I want to sell it, boom, I can do it right from the app, right from my phone, easy, no problem. So great app, great website. This is a full-featured exchange. This is not some stripped-down exchange like some of them are. You get all the charts, you get the bots, you get the access to margins and limit orders and complex things like stop limits and stop markets. And I'm going to go into detail on what all these are when we actually show you the trading platform. But I want you to know this is like one of the most full-featured exchanges that I've come across, and I've been really impressed. I've used almost every exchange I can, and this one, like I said, is head and shoulders above the rest. KuCoin also offers trading bots. So you can make your own bot, you can copy someone else's bot, you can set it up if you want to try to get in and out and catch those little dips and dives like that. You can totally trade with a trading bot. I've never done it yet. I don't know how effective it is. I'm interested in trying it. I want to see what I can get from it. But at this point, I don't have any actual empirical evidence to speak from. So I don't really know if it's any good. But it's there. And guess what? It's free. There's no charge to use the bots. There's no charge to make the bots. You can go on there and you can look and see whose bot has performed the best over the last week, 2 weeks, 10 weeks, and just literally click copy it. Copy their bot. So if you want to try bot trading, if you want to try, that kind of, if you like the staking and the bot trading and that sort of passive income style of crypto, by all means, it's available for you on KuCoin. It's wonderful and it's cheap. Lastly, KuCoin also does have a referral program. I have absolutely no idea what you get for it, but I do have a link in the description that is my referral link. So if you have listened to this so far or you keep listening to it and you decide that you want to sign up for KuCoin, do me a favor. Click the link. I'd love to find out what I get for it. I will be happy to let you guys know. I don't think it's going to be anything huge, but who knows? Maybe I get a few free KuCoins or something out of it. I don't really know. But anyway, if you're going to sign up anyways, throw me a little love and click that link for me. All right? So now on to some of the cons, some of the things that aren't as positive with KuCoin, because just like anything else, every exchange has its good and every exchange has its bad things. One of the things that's frustrating about KuCoin, but I find this being where I am, is that it's technically not legally allowed in Hawaii. Everything I've read, it's hard to get exact answers on whether it's illegal or just not approved, but it's definitely not 100%, up and up like a Coinbase or some of those other ones are. And this is a little bit of a challenge because, as we know in crypto, the last thing you want to do is get your money stuck somewhere. And I've heard nightmare stories of people who've, used VPNs to log into Binance overseas, and then suddenly their money was frozen when they needed to prove who they were. Most exchanges, if they've gone from like KuCoin to with no KYC to an exchange that actually has some KYC, things like BitMEX, when they did it, they allow you to take your money out. So it's almost, I'm not worried about getting my money stuck in there. I don't feel that that's anything that I need to be afraid of. The people of KuCoin have been really awesome in a lot of other cases. So I think we're going to be fine that way. But I just want to give you that warning because that's really the biggest kind of, I wish this was fully legitimately up on the up and up. It is not. So you need to be a little bit careful with that. And then the other thing that can be a little bit difficult with KuCoin is it's still kind of a smaller exchange. It's a top 10, but it's not, as big as Binance or some of these other ones. So it's not going to have as much liquidity. What does that mean? That means that if you're going to buy, 10 grand in Ethereum, 10 grand in Bitcoin, something like that, it may take a little bit to get that order filled. You may want to set up a limit order so you're not paying market prices on it, because if you have low liquidity and you pay market price, sometimes you pay a little more than you thought you were. So you may want to set up a limit order and buy through a limit order. I haven't found the liquidity to be a major problem personally. I'm not trading huge amounts of money here or anything, but just to give you the heads up, in case you are someone who's going to go in and trade massively, they don't have the highest liquidity, not as high as some of the other exchanges. Okay? All right, so now I want to jump on over and talk a little bit about who KuCoin is, who the owners are of the company, how it was founded, and kind of where it all came from.
When you put your money into a crypto exchange, you generally send your crypto over to them for holding in a wallet on that exchange. So I think it's really important before you do that to make sure that you review and know a little bit about the company that you're actually going to be sending it into. So here's KuCoin, and you can see it was started in 2017 with the initial ICO. And you can come down here, and this is who we have as our main team. We got a handful of co-founders, all of these guys, and then the initial CEO, this gentleman, Michael Gann. So who is he? He is this gentleman right here. Been involved in a variety of different projects, working with Alibaba, a couple different crypto projects, but they got KuCoin launched back in 2017, and it took off. It did really well. Had 350 trading pairs available in the first year, grew, and became a pretty significant player on the market quite quickly. In fact, at this point of this article that I'm making, 1 out of every 4 coin holders in the world has a KuCoin account. So 1 out of every 4 people who has crypto has an account with KuCoin. That's significant. That's quite a lot. Come over here. This is a place where I can see kind of some of the investors, and you can see some of the early stage investors into KuCoin. If you're not familiar, IDG Capital, Matrix Partners, these are pretty big names in the blockchain space. They invest in a lot of different blockchain projects. So it's nice to see some names like that you're familiar with on the founding of a company, on the investments of a company. It gives it some reputability, because these guys aren't going to invest in a company that's not going to take care of their people, that's not going to treat their people well. On to an important thing that happened. About 8 months ago, back in September, KuCoin was hacked. So this is a significant thing to know about. It happened on September 25th, and it was one of the largest hacks ever. $275 million worth of cryptocurrency were stolen from KuCoin. Here's a listing of all the different coins that were there. 10 million in Bitcoin, 4 million in Ethereum, $20 million in Tether. All total, in a very, very quick amount of time, that was hacked. Now, this is not an unusual thing for crypto. Hacks happen. Mt. Gox exchange was completely shut down because of a hack. Most exchanges undergo this at one time or another, because if you can get those hot wallet numbers, man, you can do a lot of damage. But I thought KuCoin handled this hack incredibly well. So here's some information on basically what they handled. And first of all, the CEO at the time, John Liu, he said immediately that any stolen funds are going to be covered completely by an insurance fund. Now, KuCoin has some pretty massive insurance policies, and he was able to step up right away and say, listen, don't worry about it. If your coins were taken, if you lost something in this hack, you are covered. You are safe. He didn't wait. He didn't flip around and take a bunch of time to do this. This was immediately. He came right out and said it. So reassured the market, reassured people quite a lot. Along the way, by October 7th, which is, not even a month after this hack had happened, they had recovered 204 of the million of the stolen crypto. And I think The final number I read was that they got up to about 250 million of it recovered. They were able to actually track down where it had been moved to, get it back somehow or another. I'm not entirely sure how they pulled it off, but they got about 250 million of it back. And then the remaining 30, 40 million that was owed was covered by that insurance fund. So it all came back. And in fact, here it's talking about this from when it happened, but November 22nd, by 2 months afterwards, all the deposits are back. All the services are back up and running. The only last thing they had was some limitations on some daily withdrawals in place because some of the coins were still being held in legal proceedings. But that's it. So yeah, it can be a little bit sketchy to feel like, ooh, man, I'm investing in an exchange that got hacked. But I actually think that this is a positive because most exchanges are going to experience a hack at one point or another. These guys handled it like a champ. They stood up for everybody. They told their customers they had it covered. They had the right insurance in place. They did the right litigation. And since then, they've cranked up their security. They've seen where some of their vulnerabilities are. So they're probably significantly less vulnerable to a hack at this point. This is why I feel good about putting my money into KuCoin. Now, I also don't recommend that you put all of your money in one location. If you start building up a significant bank of crypto, pull some of it out. Hardware wallets, those are by far the most secure. So, take the portion of your coins that you want to trade with and leave them in the KuCoin wallet. If you have some coins that you're going to sit on for 3 months, 6 months, you just want to ride out for a while, pull them out and stick them in a hardware wallet. It's a very, very good way to balance it and keep your crypto spread around so that if something were to happen, you're not exposed. But like I said, I don't feel worried that if you were to lose your crypto to KuCoin that you would not get it back. If they got hacked again, I have full confidence that they would support this and would help everybody out, get their coins back. Here I am over on KuCoin, and I'm going to go up to the top right corner there where it says to sign in. It's KuCoin.com. As you can see, I'm signing up for a new one. So put in my phone number, and they will send me a little code. I click on that send code button, and they send me the code. While doing that, it's going to require you to go through a CAPTCHA. So, have to pick the traffic lights out of this one. I think I have to pick the cars out of this one, and then I get to move on. Standard CAPTCHA stuff. But once you get that done, you're going to enter the code that you were sent, and you get to create your passwords. Create your first password, create your a second place that you type it so that it's making sure that it's secure. Click that you've read the terms and conditions, and click the sign up button. That's literally it. At this point, you're ready to add crypto to your account. Now, before we add crypto, we're going to want to do a few things to add a few layers of security, but literally that is all you have to do to sign up for a KuCoin account. It is every bit of that easy. So let me just hop over and show you some of the security settings that you want to get ready before you start. So to add these security settings, you're going to want to start by going over here to the little circle. It probably won't have CR in there. It's going to have the first 2 letters of your email address that you've got it set up with. Or it may not until you have an email, but go over there, highlight that, and scroll down here to account security. And that's going to pull up a whole list of different things that you may want to use for security. As you can see, I've got Google verification, I've got phone verification, I've got email, I've got a trading password set up. I do not have restrict login IP right now. I could set that up so that it only would let me log in from it. And then there's a few safety phrases here at the bottom. So basically what you want to do is you want to make sure you definitely have Google verification. This is where you're going to set up that Google Authenticate on your phone, and it's going to put up a little code and make you match up the codes to make sure that it's really you. It's wonderful because it avoids somebody doing the hacks where they take control of your phone. There are notorious people who have taken control of people's wallets by taking control of their cell phones through the cell phone companies. But you can't do that with Google verification. They would actually literally have to physically have your phone and your password to get into your phone in order to get into your account. So good security there. Add these other ones on. Trading password, you're going to have to create a trading password before you can do any actual trading. So simple, 6-digit, numerical, something easy to remember. You're going to enter it almost every time you want to do a trade. So make it something easy but just something for you. It's just another step on there. And then these last few ones, email safety phrase, login safety phrase, withdraw safety phrase. basically you can set these to say whatever you want them to say. For example, I can come here and for my email phrase, I can tell it that it says, let's see. Yes, I really sent this email. And then my initials. There you go. So that's what I now have as my email safety phrase. What that means is that if some scammer out there happens to get it and tries to send me an email pretending to be KuCoin, it's not going to say that. They're not going to know that email safety phrase. So the phishing attack isn't going to get anywhere, because if I don't see that safety phrase in the email, I know it's not really from KuCoin. Every single email now that KuCoin sends to me will have that safety phrase in it. You can set up a login one for when you log in to make sure you're not logging into a false site, to make sure you didn't click on a link that took you somewhere by accident. And then you can set one up for withdraw too, just to in the confirmation to make sure that you're not getting phished and not withdrawing it to a fake location or through a fake website. Anytime you withdraw money, it's going to have that phrase there too. So good additional levels of security. At the very, very least, get Google verification with Google Authenticate, get phone verification, get email. So make sure you at least get those set up, and then you're going to need a trading password in order to trade. Now we're going to do a brief walkthrough of the different asset groups that are available within KuCoin. After we finish that up, I'm going to take you guys and do a little deposit of some crypto so you can see exactly how you would get it in if you've signed up for your own account. And lastly, we're going to head over to the trading screen, and I'm going to show you all around the trading screen, all the great information that you can see in there, and give you a view of how you'd put together a trade. All right, so first, these assets. If you go up here, you see a little tab that says assets right there, and we're going to click on that, and it is going to pull up this KuCoin account for me. So as you can see, you've got a few different options here. Right now, there is a main account. There's a trading account, there's a futures account, which has not been enabled, and a Pool X account. There are also some other accounts that can be done on here, some margin and some limit. Whatever they are, they're all going to show up in here, but these are kind of the basic ones. So the main account is just where you have crypto that you want to store. You're not trading it, you're not actively doing anything with it. You brought it into the platform, or you're getting ready to bring it out of the platform, and it just kind of is there to sit and go up in value. The next one you have is your trading account. And this one is going to have all of the different coins that you're buying and selling. When you go to the trading screen, everything that you have in your trading account will be available for you to trade with. So I'm just going to pull up this one because it's where I have all my coins right now, and I'm going to show you a little bit of kind of how it looks. As you can see, I don't have a lot of different coins right now. I am currently sitting on the sidelines. It's Saturday the 29th. It's about 1 o'clock p.m., 29th of May, and I happen to personally think that we're going to have a little rough weekend. I think some prices are going to go down both tonight and tomorrow night, possibly. We have a Memorial Day long weekend. So my choice was, when the crypto was a little bit higher up, I sold what I had out and just sat on the sidelines. And I'm going to wait to re-inject my capital when I think that we're at or near a bottom. Anyway, so that's why you only see these two coins. KuCoin, I always keep some KuCoins because as I'll show you later, you get a better price on your trades by having KuCoin. What it'll do is your trading fees, it will deduct from this balance, and it costs you less money to do it that way. So I like to always keep some KuCoins around, but you can see it's a pretty small amount. Everything else is pretty much pulled out into Tether. But then back to our overview, the futures account, I don't know. I haven't started messing with it. I don't really borrow money, and I'm not interested in doing margined accounts or margin trades, so I've never activated these features. Maybe I will, just purely for demonstration purposes at some point, to show everybody how it works. And then lastly, the Pool X account, that is where you stake everything. You can see it's got transfer and stake. So if you have a coin that's stakeable, like for example some Tezos XTZ, you can move it into the Pool X account, and you can choose to stake it, and you will receive a certain amount of different coins every time. There's lots of different opportunities in there. And let's see if I go into the Pool X account, if it'll show me. It may show me what some of the different things are. Now, it shows me what coins are available. There's a way to dig in and find out what you're going to get, how much you're actually going to get staked from each one. But this is what what the options are as far as the different coins that you can stake. And, if you want to earn some passive income, go for it, earn some passive income that way. To make a deposit on KuCoin is a pretty simple process. You're going to want to go over here where it's got your assets, and you're going to see a list that says main account, and it's got parentheses deposit and withdrawal. So this is where you want to use to deposit money or withdraw money into your main account. Once you go into here, it's got a list of all these different tokens. You can do a quick search. So let's say I want to do some Litecoin, LTC Litecoin. All right. If I wanted to withdraw Litecoin, if I had a balance, I would click on the withdraw. If I wanted to transfer it, meaning move it from my main account into a staking account, into a trading account, I would click on here. It's going to pull up, from main account to trading account or to Pool X account, whatever accounts you have available, what coin, how much of it you're going to do, you confirm it. If you're looking to deposit, you're looking to start your account off, then this is where you're going to want to go. So click on the deposit. And it's going to pull it up. And obviously, like I said, we're already in Litecoin, but you can switch around to countless different tokens, and you can send them in, which is really nice because if you've picked up a portfolio of tokens over on another exchange and you've decided, wow, those fees look great, I want to move it into KuCoin, well, you don't have to deal with swapping it into something standardized to do it. You can move it all in here. Now, I will tell you as I do this, I like to test a small amount with almost every coin, to make sure that I'm getting it right. Sometimes with like an Ethereum or something, I just move it all at once because of the gas fees. But as long as it's, something without a lot of gas fees, I would rather test a little, make sure it moved correctly, make sure everything felt good before I move a lot. So, but anyway, when you're ready to do it, you simply say into the main account, I want to transfer, however much you're going to punch in there. I'm sorry. That's telling you that the amount that you have in there. It's going to automatically figure out how much you have when you transfer it in. But you've got your Litecoin wallet, so you can either copy the address if you are going to be using something else on your computer, or if you're going to be using a phone app, you can just hover over it, and it's going to pull up a QR code for you that's got the address where you want to deposit. As you can see here at the bottom, I have a history that I have deposited some Litecoin. This was a couple of weeks back when I first started transferring things over here. But, no problem. It took a few hours. It took a little while to go through, but I just went to my exchange, which is Gemini, and I put it in and I sent it over, and it was no big deal. So as far as if you don't have crypto, you can buy it, but not if you live in the United States. If you live anywhere else outside of the United States, I believe, and maybe Canada also has restrictions on it anyway, but definitely outside of the United States, there's a lot of countries that will let you go ahead and buy it. You can buy it with a credit or debit card. You can transfer money from a bank account, but KuCoin, because they don't have the KYC, because they don't take your information, if you live in the United States, you're not going to be able to deposit money directly into it. You're going to need to put it into a different exchange and then simply send it here to trade. So if you're doing this and you're just strictly taking the money, I would say use Litecoin. Litecoin is extremely cheap fees, like 25 cents to send money around. So if I was going to take fiat currency, I would buy Litecoin, I would send it to KuCoin, and I would trade it into whatever I wanted. All right. But once again, not financial advice. Consult with a professional if you're doing anything like this. And then let's move on, and we're going to talk about trading. This is one of the cooler parts of it. So when you go over here, you've got the spot trading account, and that is going to pull up this guy right here. This is one of my favorite things about KuCoin is their trading platform. At first, it can feel a little overwhelming. It's like, how much red and green is there going on? And there's actually a way to switch between nighttime mode and daytime mode. I think it's over here. Yeah. So if you really want it to blind you, you can switch it to white background, but I find the dark background to be far easier on my eyes. And you can see right now what I'm looking at here. This is the pair that I see up here. You can see it highlighted. It's Bitcoin to USD Tether. You can see everything is going to go in UTC. It's going to go in a standardized time code. It doesn't change based upon where you're living, so you're going to have to do the math to translate it if you need to. But this is the candlestick chart, and I'm on 30-minute candles right now. So each of these blocks is representing 30 minutes. I can scroll over here. I can see the volume that went on during that period of time. It's also pulling up the high, the low, a bunch of different information about it. And I can change if I want to see. Let's see what's happening on the 1 minute. Here are the 1 minute candles and how much change is going on in 1 minute and how much volume is going into the exchange in that minute. If you really, really want to get detailed and granular. But you've also got a list of other trading pairs up here at the top. And these are all the different combinations that you can exchange between. So right now, there's things like BNB to USD Tether, Doge to Tether, Sushi to Tether, mostly because, as I said, I pulled all my money out and stuck it into Tether before things got too bad, and have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for a place to re-inject my money. So I have a lot of Tether, I have a lot of pairs set up. But if you want to do direct exchanges, if you had, Bitcoin and you wanted to do to Ethereum, well, there's your Ethereum to Bitcoin. And you can see how those two are moving against each other by looking at something like this. There's a long-term graph showing Bitcoin to Ethereum. Ethereum to Bitcoin. But yeah, so that's where your trading pairs are, the different things that you're trading between. As you can see, when it's highlighted, it's going to pull up the information, 24-hour high, 24-hour low, different amounts. You can also look at 4 at the same time if you want to. You can click over here and you can hit this little 4 thing and it's going to pull up. Now you're tracking 4 different windows. So I can see BNB, Ethereum, Sushi Swap, and Doge to USD Tether. There's all 4 of those. And if I want to change it, let's say I'm not really interested in Doge. I want to know how Maker's doing. I can go over there and click on Maker and it's going to pull it up. And once again, I can click and I can tell it I want 15-minute candles. I can scroll my mouse to zoom in and out. So you can see as you start learning more and more about how to trade cryptos or when to trade cryptos, it's going to be really helpful because simply, clicking on buy in Gemini, cool, great. You buy it whenever you buy it. Well, here it goes from 33 to 31.20 in a matter of a couple hours. It's about 2 hours or 3 hours on the graph right there. I'd like to watch that. I'd like to, even if I'm just someone who's not really trading and going to just look for a point to buy in some Maker, I might wait for that dip. I might look for it to drop down a little bit and buy it because, hey, you just saved $120 on the price of it. I think it's really valuable to learn to read these charts even to a very beginner's level. There's just a lot of information and you can make better decisions when it comes time for that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to a single chart. And another couple things that I like on these charts are right here. If you see this little graph, it says indicators, and I can pull up indicators. I have some favorites in here: average true range, moving average exponential, volume, but I can pull up other ones. If I want a momentum indicator and I want to know the momentum, boom, I can pull it up like that, and I click on it. Now it's got a graph down here showing the momentum. So here's my volume graph, and here's my momentum graph, and there is my price graph. If I wanted to add an indicator, let's see, like average true range, I think shows up. No, average true range shows up down here. And you can close out any of these. I can go here and hide that or close it. I'm not using that. I don't want to use that. But sometimes you can see across here, here's a moving average line. There you go. There's a good one. I can zoom in and you can see this purple line is a moving average. This orange line is a 10-day. This green one is a 5-day, and this is the 30-day moving average. I can also hide it. Let's get rid of my purple one and let's get rid of that. I only want to look at my 5-day moving average. Well, there's my 5-day moving average line. I can change it and go to a 3-minute candle and look at my 5-day average. So you can, as you see, as much information as you could possibly want on it. On the right is what's called the order book. So these are the people who have said, I want to sell Maker into USD Tether, and I'm willing to sell this much for this price. So here we hover over it, and it's the 3084.62 volume in Maker, 0.0013, $4 in Tether. So it's $4 worth that they're trying to sell, but that's the specific price they're willing to sell, and that's a piece of the market. Down here are people willing to buy. you can see a little bit of a different price. This person's willing to buy at 3,082, and they're willing to buy 0.14. So this is at 30.85. This is at 30.81. They're about $4 difference between the two of them. Somebody's going to have to come together to make this work. And the prices are going to change and fluctuate and change all the time. If you're trying to look at the depth of the market, you really want to see what's available to buy and sell. You can switch the market depth here. If I go to tens, it's going to show me 30, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, and it gives me an idea how much volume is there. Now, this is only people who have committed to the order. When you say a limit order and it's committed, it's there. There could be some guy sitting in the background waiting to dump at a certain price, and you're never going to see it on there because he hasn't put the limit order in. But once a limit order is put in, this has got it. Over here on the right are all the orders that actually are getting completed. So let's go back. We'll get our decimals back. And here's the orders that are actually happening. And you can see the market depth. That's kind of a graph that shows you, how far out is how many people are buying it and at what prices, and how many people are selling it at what prices. And you can, expand it if you want to look further back and further forward and in time, and further away from the current trading price. But that gets you all of your kind of information on the keys. Oh, and then right down here, really important. Here's that little checkbox. If you decide to go through and pick up some KuCoin, so that you want to save that little 20% extra discount on your trading fees, you're going to want to click on this. Once you own KuCoin, click on this. It says, after enabling this feature, KCS will pay your fees and you'll save 20%, which is awesome. So now let's look a little bit at how we actually do a trade. And I'm going to start by entering my trading password. Oops. Where am I over here? And now I've unlocked my trading screen. So as you can see, if I wanted to, I could buy maker. Right now, this is what's called a spot trade. I don't do margins. I don't do futures. It's all leverage trades. And that scares the living bejesus out of me. If you don't know, borrowing is extremely dangerous on crypto. When the big first crash happened on the 19th, where everything kind of shot down, even though it shot right back up, 750,000 margin traders had their accounts closed. They didn't have enough at a certain point to cover their margin calls, and so all their crypto assets were taken and the account was closed. It's just a dangerous game. Feel free to play it if you think you're great at it, but you're not going to get my advice saying that it's a good idea. I stick with spot trades. So with the current spot trade, this is what's called a market. So if I'm willing to just take whatever the best market price available is, I can put it in here. I put in that I want to buy how much? $250 in USD. Oh, I'm buying USD. I'm buying Maker. So if I was buying Maker, I would want to spend 250 USD tethers to buy Maker, and it's going to give me whatever the best sell price it matches with somebody right now selling the asset is. Okay. If I owned some of it and I wanted to sell it, I could go over here and tell it I wanted to sell 0.05 Maker or whatever amount I happen to own. There's these convenient 150, 75, 25, but it's not going to give me the actual price as it says here, calculated after final trades, because they don't know exactly what price it's going to come at. It's going to come at a market price, whatever the market is dictating. Then you can go over here if you want to set limit trades, which says, below a certain price, I want to sell my Maker. Above a certain price, or above a certain price, I'll sell it. Below a certain price, I'll buy it. You can put those in here, and you can tell it how much you're buying and at what price. So I want it, at say 3,200. No, I would. So if it goes up to 3,200, I would sell 50% of my Maker. Well, I own nothing right now, but let's say I could sell one Maker, and that would say $3,200. That's what I would get. It can calculate it now because I'm setting a price. I'm saying sell it for at least this much money. So that's how you start, and I'm not going to get into detail on what stop limits and stop markets and all these different orders are with you. Maybe I'll make another video if you're interested. Put it in the comments, and I'll be glad to go do another video and explain it in detail. But that's the different types of trades that you have available, but they're useful. So you also have what are called stop limit and stop markets. And basically these just say at a certain price, set a market order or set a limit order. So if this thing hits 2,500 and I said, I don't care at that point, just sell it at whatever price you can get rid of it for, I would set 2,500 for my stop price. I would set it at a stop market. You can see the price is best market available. So I'd say at $2,500, which is the stop, fired off, sell however much in my maker. And the other one is setting a limit order, like where we set a certain price at 2,500, sell it as long as it's over 2,300, you know, and I could set a price like that and it would be willing to do that. So that's how you set up those. And then lastly, over here are where your open orders and your different trade history and things are. So open orders means anything that would fall on here. You've actually set the limit order. When you set a limit order like that, you have to actually have the asset in hand right here. A stop limit, you don't have to have the asset at that moment, but if you don't, when it tries to execute the limit, it's not going to put the limit order in there. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, for a limit order, you have to have the crypto. If you want to say a limit order selling one maker, you better have one maker when you set that limit order. If you set it manually, you got to have it then, or it'll deny it. If you set it through a stop limit, when it tries to trigger it, it's going to say, "Do you have this?" Nope. Oh, sorry, I'm not putting that order in. If you have any stop orders, they're going to appear over here. As you can see, I have some right now just in case things tank, and here's a variety of different prices that I'm willing to buy different assets at. That's my current list of them. Order history is going to show you all the different orders that you have placed, and this includes all the ones that you've canceled and completed. So this can get to be pretty extensive, but if you want to look back and review your stuff, you can. If it's getting too confusing, you can also click over here and either select just the current pair. So I only see maker to USD tether, or you can select I want to see buys or sells. There's some options to kind of filter it and get you to see the pieces that you want. But that's your order history, all the different orders that you've placed. And then trade history shows what's actually traded and what prices it's actually traded at. So here's some different buys that were made, and here's some different sells that were made at different prices. And you can see when they happened, what pair, what type of a trade was used. And these were stop limits, these were market orders. So that gives you kind of a review of it. And it's nice because you can actually go in, it says only display the 30 order details in the past 3 months. So you can go back, it's got 221 results. I can go back and actually look at all my trade history. It keeps it in here in case I need it for tax purposes, or if I just want to look back and see, where I made good trades, where I made bad trades, where I made mistakes, and where I was successful. So that's about everything I can think of for the trading screen. And really, that's about everything that I can think of to share with you about KuCoin today. I mean, obviously, this is a long video, and I could have gone into a lot more detail, but, I think that choosing your exchange is a really, really important decision. I know that when I started out, I made a lot of mistakes by using the wrong exchange. I was in a hurry. I didn't know much about different exchanges, and I spent too much money on fees. I spent too much money transferring crypto around. I had trouble figuring out what exchanges would let me get the coins that I wanted. I had coins that I left not staked and wasn't making money, even though I was just planning to sit on them for a while. All these type of things were confusing. After I researched it and worked through all these different ones, I kind of came to the conclusion that I shouldn't say kind of, I came to the conclusion that this was my favorite of the exchanges. Of the ones that I could access, this was my favorite. So no matter where you are, in the US, you can access this one. Are you technically allowed to? I don't think so, but it's very easy to. And as long as you're, doing it smart and doing it securely, and you're, if once I have a coin traded and I'm happy and going to sit on it a while, I'll pull it out of this exchange and put it into my secure wallet, my hardware wallet. So anyway, I hope you've gotten some value out of this. I hope you guys are interested in KuCoin. Click on my link down at the bottom. If you decide that you want to join, I'd love to see what happens with this referral link. If I can get a few referrals, cool. I'll pop up a video and let you know what you get for it. And, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let Google know that this was a quality video, that it helped you learn some things. Join us. We're going to be doing more reviews. I'm going to do other exchanges too. I'm going to talk through Binance, and I'm going to talk through some of the other options that I can get access to, through a variety of different ways. But yeah, that's what I want to do, and I hope you guys have really enjoyed it. Once again, thank you for sticking with me, and much aloha.